Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel. And in this video, we're going to talk about soap nuts. Now soap nuts, they seem to be really popular right now, but they're actually a really good thing. Most of the time, let me just show you what the soap nuts look like, first of all. So I get my soap nuts in a big bag, and if you look down in my little Amazon affiliate link, there's a link to these. I think these are sold out right now, but if you go in there and search through there, look at the other soap nuts, you can get some. This great big bag, which if you used it only for laundry would do about 330 loads. That's pretty good because it's like 22 bucks, I think, which is about the cost of one of those big things of laundry detergents filled with water and stuff. Anyway, couple of things I wanted to point out. You guys know that I like to use natural products at my home, things that are non-toxic, no chemicals. Well, other than just the fact of trying to eliminate chemicals, one of the main reasons why I do that is because we have a septic. And the fewer chemicals things that you can add to your septic, the healthier your septic tank will be. So there's that. But these soap nuts are not a nut. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about soap nuts first of all. Soap nuts are most popular. People use them for laundry, but you can use them for tons of stuff. But they're not really, and they're not a nut. They're actually a berry, and I'll show you. And these ones are from the mountains of the Himalayan mountains of Pakistan, but they're from sometimes India, Nepal, whatever. Anyway, they grow naturally. They don't have to use pesticides on them because critters don't like them. So what they look like is they look like this. So it's actually just a little berry. And what happens is they're dried out. And you can kind of see how they're a little bit shiny. Well, the outside of them has something called saponin, which is basically soap. And that's why they're called soap nuts or soap berries, or there's a lot of names for them. But when I like this, because usually they'll come in like a fabric bag, so you can reuse this for tons of stuff. Inside of here, there's a paper bag with the nuts in it. And they will generally come with one of these little bags. So these little bags, if you're using them for laundry, and I'll go into the other ways of using them in a minute, but what you do is you take your little bag, you put a few of these soap nuts in it. Some people say up to 10, some people just say 5. It's what you need to figure. You put those in there, and you draw it, and you drop that in with your laundry, and as it agitates, you'll see some suds come up. Now this is good for HE machines because you know how high efficiency laundry detergents always say low suds? Well, this is already low suds. Another thing I don't want to forget to tell you is that it doesn't leave any residue, so you don't have to worry about going and removing it before the rinse cycle because it's just fine. Now, my personal opinion on using these for laundry is that I think it's best for your super lightly soiled things, delicate things, you know, like maybe your sheets, maybe, you know, delicate items that you're going to wash. I don't use this for heavy duty clean, like really dirty jeans. Or today, I'm ready to go work outside in the yard and probably going to get so much stuff on my clothes, but I wouldn't use them for this because I don't think they're that effective in heavy soiled things. So just keep that in mind. Start with your lighter soiled things and then kind of work up from there and see where you want to stop and start using. You can also enhance these by adding, you can whiten clothes by adding a little baking soda. You can add some little borax, maybe some washing soda to kind of boost it up so that you can use it on more laundry. So that's cool. But how do you use them? So they really don't have any scent other than when they're kind of concentrated. They're a little bit more like a berry scent in a weird way. Very faint, like you can hardly smell them at all. So what you can do is after you wash with them, you can use those wool dryer balls and you can add essential oils to those. And that will help because we're used to having our laundry smell super good when it comes out of the washer and dryer. So a little essential oils is a great thing to do. But that said, I'm going to show you a little bit of what happens here. So like I said, soap nuts work mostly in the laundry. They work super effectively on hotter temperatures, hot, warm, hot. And so I'm going to show you, I've got some soap nuts that I've just dropped in this jar. And this is warm. This isn't even hot. This is right, just warm out of the tap. So I'm going to show you what happens if you're in your washer. Look at that. Hardly, the lid doesn't stay on very tight. So see all the suds that comes up from that? That's just those soap berries. And what the suds are, the saponin is it breaks the surface tension so that the soap and the water can penetrate the fabric easier. And I remember one time when I was a kid, I was like, what's surface tension? And my dad was explaining when you go into a tent, you guys probably already know this, but I think it's a good way to explain it to a kid. When you go into a tent and it's raining outside, but it's not raining in the tent, and even though it's fabric, you're thinking, shouldn't that water come through there? And it doesn't until you touch it. Or like, say, a screen on your window until you touch it. Once you touch it, the water will come in that spot. Like in a tent, if you touch it, it breaks the surface tension and the water will start dripping in that spot. So that's what the saponin does, is it breaks the surface tension on the fibers so the water and soap will penetrate and go through it. Now, if you don't want to use hot water all the time or warm water, if you are a cold water washer, that's fine too. There's a way to make a cleaning soap, which I will show you. This is in my fridge. It looks like apple juice. That way on the top of it, it says cleaning soap, do not drink. Because what you can do is take your soap nuts, and I usually take about 10, put it in a pot with a couple of cups of water, bring it carefully to a boil, and I say carefully because that's what happens. It starts bouncing around and you're going to get a lot of foam and suds. So you want to kind of watch it so it doesn't suds over. Once it starts kind of boiling and getting like this, then you turn it to a really low simmer and let it simmer for about an hour. When you do that, it draws the soap, the saponin, out of the berry, and it makes a really nice cleaning solution. So this in itself right now is already a cleaning solution, and I'm outside and I'm washing things, so I'm going to save this, probably fill it up with a little bit more water, let it sit in the sun for a little bit, and then by the time I get around to washing some things, this is going to be a great cleaning agent for me. So I'm just going to let that sit here on my picnic table in the sun, like sun tea, only sun cleaning supplies. But if you don't want to use warm water, I've got a jar of cold water here, and I'm going to take the soap that I made. So what I did was water, some berries, bring it to a very light boil, turn it down to a light simmer, let it sit for about an hour. And then this is, and actually after I turned it off, after it simmered for about an hour, I turned it off and I let it sit there for a while before I actually drained it. And then you just strain it out. You strain the berries out, and then this is what you're left with. Now I'm going to take this jar right here, and I'm going to put about 2 spoons. Now, if you use this in your washer, you'll use about 4 tablespoons of this per an average load. So that's really cost effective. So now I've put 2 tablespoons in here, and this is cold water, and that actually came out of the fridge, so that liquid is super cold too. And now I'm going to shake this up. Looky there. Look at the suds, the foam. See that? That's ready to clean. Now this is also already going to be a cleaning liquid that I can use, and I could use this on things like countertops, maybe between heavy cleanings, go around, put this in a spray bottle, and you can scent it. I'll show you how, but I could put this in a spray bottle and spray like toilets and sinks and just give them a wipe down. Kitchen counter, spray it, let it sit for a couple minutes, and then wipe it down. Now if you want it to smell really good, you can always add essential oils. And I get my essential oils from Simply Earth in a monthly subscription kit. If you're interested, there's a link below that saves you $50 on your first 5 boxes. That's my little plug for my Simply Earth kits, because they're amazing. But if you don't want a kit, you can just head over there and you can just buy individual oils. So the things that I like to scent these with are things like lavender, lemon. I'll put couple drops of lemon. So in this jar, I might put like 2 drops, and I might put lemon if I'm going to use it in the kitchen, or lavender if I'm going to use it in the bathroom. Eucalyptus is awesome to wipe things down with in the wintertime when cold and flu season. Defender is one. Some other companies have things called Thieves or whatever. It's just a super good one to use in the wintertime when cold and flu season is around. So you can put a couple drops in there and wipe things down. And not only will it have the cleaning from the soap nuts, but it'll have the antibacterial, antiviral benefits of the essential oils as well, all the time staying completely natural. Now, let's just talk one more thing about If you use these in your little bag in your laundry, you can use that multiple times. Some people say 5 times, some people say 10 times, but really it's up to the condition of the nut or the berry. So when you notice, when you take your bag out, if you squeeze it and there's still soap coming out, keep using it. And also if it, you'll notice the berries kind of lose that rough looking and they'll kind of just become smooth. And I don't know if I can get one of these out of here to show you. So this one, I've used these a few times. Okay, this is a good one. All right, so let me get a dry one. We'll do a little comparison. Brian just came out. He notices my visor. I'll have to tell you about that in a minute. Okay, so there's the dry berry, right? The dry soap nut. Can you see? There you go. And then this is one that's been soaking. And see how it's kind of getting soft? But see, there's still foam, suds coming out of there. And the roughness is kind of going away. When that just becomes kind of just smooth and soft and you're not getting any bubbles out of there, put it in your compost. That's what you can do. So good to use. And really, I like it because when you use this, you can feel on your hands, you can feel that that there's soap, little soapy water. But when you rinse it, rinses right away because it doesn't leave any residue. And now for storing it, you can make it in little bits. Like if I just put this jar here with hot water and then set it out in the sun, I could use this right away. And great. So sometimes people will prefer to make it as they want to use it. So they'll make only what they're going to use for any reason. And then that's it. If you want to make a bunch of it like this, I keep this in the fridge. So you can keep this for about a week. This will last several months in the fridge. But if you make a great big amount, it's cool to put them in like little 1-cup containers and freeze them. And then you have them all the time. And then you just pull them out, let them thaw. Drain them into a bottle, add water if you want to make it, dilute it. You could leave it full strength. These are all entirely up to how there's no rule. There's no like 2 tablespoons to water. You just do it the way you like it. And freezing it will keep, like you could have it for a long, long time. So that's it. That's what I wanted to tell you about soap nuts. I love them. I'm outside today. I'm doing flower beds and I'm going to wash some furniture things that I need to put up on the porch, and I'm going to use soap nuts because the soap nut water that I just made, the soap nut liquid that I just made, I now have 2 pints of cleaning solution. Look at that. It's amazing. And I'm going to put this back. And so what I was saying about my visor, quick note, I don't like to wear a hat because I have like the worst head for hat hair. It looks just terrible and it's horrible. So this is what I did today. I asked Brian if he had an old ball hat that he didn't want, and he did. So I cut the top off. This is genius, you guys. And I just cut it off. I didn't even have to serge it, but then I thought I'm going to serge around the edge of it. So now I can go out and work in my yard, have me a little visor that isn't my nice visor. If you watched my cruise videos, I have a nice visor that I wear in town. So this is now my gardening visor. So there it is. And as always, thanks for watching. Ooh, Brian just got the mail. Is that my Simply Earth box? Yes. That'll be my next video. It's going to be an opening of my July Simply Earth box. I am so excited. I can barely stand myself. Okay, you guys, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.